I have a dream. And honestly, I don't even know when I stopped saying that out loud. Like, there was a time in my life where I said it every single day without even thinking twice about it. You know, when I was a kid, I was so creative that I genuinely could not even picture who I was going to become. Like, the future version of me was this huge, exciting mystery. And instead of that being scary, it was actually the most thrilling thing in the world. I'd draw random things, make up stories, build stuff out of nothing, and just believe with my whole chest that I was going to do something incredible with my life. And now here I am in my 20s, sitting in front of my PC, trying to figure out how to put all of that into words without sounding like I've completely lost the plot. Because honestly, some days it really does feel that way. I remember being maybe 8 or 9 years old, and I had this notebook where I would write down every single idea that came into my head. Businesses I wanted to start, inventions I thought I could build, characters I wanted to bring to life. And none of it made sense together, but that never bothered me because back then I didn't need it to make sense, I just needed it to feel exciting. And everything did. Everything felt possible. The world was just this giant open door and I was running toward it at full speed without a single doubt in my mind. So what happened? That's the question I keep coming back to. What actually happened between that kid with the notebook and the person I am right now? So the first thing I want to say is something that took me a really long time to admit to myself, which is that somewhere between childhood and adulthood, the world kind of talked me out of dreaming as big as I used to. Nobody sat me down and said, hey, stop being creative, stop imagining things, just be realistic. It was never that direct, but it was in the little comments, the raised eyebrows, oh, but what's the actual plan though? Kind of questions that started to make me feel like my ideas needed to be justified before they were even fully formed. And that is such a dangerous place to be because you start editing yourself before you even get started. And eventually you stop having the ideas altogether. And then your 20s hit and nobody warns you about how genuinely disorienting this decade can be. Like, everyone around you seems to be moving in some direction, getting jobs, getting into relationships, building things, posting wins on social media. And you're just standing there going, okay, but what am I actually doing? And does any of this align with who I actually am? I went through a period where I was doing all the right things on paper, and yet every single morning I woke up with this quiet, uncomfortable feeling in my chest that something was off. Like I was performing a version of my life rather than actually living it, and it took me a while to realize that feeling wasn't me being ungrateful or dramatic. It was just me being honest with myself about the fact that I hadn't checked in with my dreams in a very long time. But here's the thing that actually gave me hope when I finally sat down and thought about it properly. The dream doesn't actually die. It really doesn't. It just goes quiet because life gets loud and you stop making space for it, but the moment you slow down enough to actually listen, it's still there. Maybe a little dusty, maybe a little different in shape from what it used to be, but it's there. And I think that's the most important thing I want you to take away from this today. Your creativity, your vision, your sense of, I could actually do something meaningful with my life. None of that disappeared just because you got older or got busy or got scared. It's just been waiting for you to come back to it. I'll be really honest with you though, because I think you deserve that. There are days where I sit down to work on the things I care about and I feel like an absolute fraud. Like, who am I to think I can build something? Who am I to think my ideas are worth anything? And that voice is loud sometimes, like uncomfortably loud. But I've started to realize that the voice gets louder precisely when I'm getting closer to something real. And that's not a sign to stop. That's actually a sign to keep going, because discomfort and growth have always been in the same room together, and I'm done mistaking one for the other. So here's what I want to challenge you to do, and I mean actually do this, not just nod along and forget about it in 5 minutes. I want you to find that old version of yourself, the one who had ideas before the world told them to be practical, and I want you to write one of those ideas down today. Just one, without judging it, without immediately asking, but how would that even work? Just let yourself have it, because that's where everything starts. And then I want you to tell me about it. Drop it in the comments, seriously, because I genuinely want to know what that thing is for you. What's the dream that's been sitting quietly in the background of your life, waiting for you to come back to it? Because here's what I know for sure. The fact that you had a dream once means you're still capable of having one now. And the fact that you're watching this, that you're still asking these questions, that you're still looking for something that feels real, that tells me everything I need to know about where you're headed. I have a dream, and I think you do too. Let's not let them go quiet again. All right, that's all I've got for today. If this hits home in any kind of way, please give it a like because it genuinely helps more people find this. Subscribe if you want to be part of this journey as I figure all of this out in real time, and I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, seriously.